Hello and welcome to PM Express Personality Profile. My name is Nana Ansakwa and today I am doing the walk of change. Now normally this walk would have been done by my guest on her way to rescue a battered housewife, that deprived child, or that little girl that has to see herself through prostitution and able to pay her school fees, or simply to empower women. She is an honorary doctor. She's also the female presenter of the year. She's also the morning show host of the year, and so many, many awards. She has attained great heights, which I think is inspiring, and she has a story to tell. Folks, I am talking to, right after the break, you would know. Hello and welcome back to the show. And by now I'm sure you're guessing, who am I talking to? Well, she started her life as a carpenter and somehow ended up in the media. Even though she's done well in media, one may ask, with all these stories flying about, wouldn't she have been better off staying as a carpenter? Anyway, we're here to find out from Gifty Auntie. Gifty, now I don't know whether I welcome you to the show or you welcome me to your studios, but there's a welcome.
Thank you.
Very well. Carpentry and media. I mean, wouldn't you have been better off being a carpenter?
I think you need to qualify it.
Okay.
I was an artisan. I was a lacquering and sandpapering expert.
Of what material?
Of the woodwork industry.
Folks, did you hear that? The woodwork industry. But let's just delve a bit in the carpentry before I move away. I mean, how did you, were you carving chairs or were you...
No, actually we were doing wood carvings, in the late 90s. Yeah, late 90s. I beg your pardon, it's early 90s. I think 92, 93. We had these wood carvings that you hang in the room and all that. So I had these friends who were doing it, and I was working with them. So they cut out the designs, and now just sandpaper and lacquer it, I'm sure you don't know what is lacquering.
I know what lacquering is.
You put the shine on it, yeah. So that's what I was doing. Yeah.
Were you good at it?
I was very good at it. I call myself an expert.
Okay. And... so how did you, from woodwork to carpentry to media, that was a big jump. Did you knew you were going to end up in the media?
Okay. What happened was after sixth form, I wanted to go to the uni. I didn't get an admission. I was home. I wasn't doing anything. So my friends were working and I needed to earn some money. So I decided to work with them, but I knew I would go back to school. So after working with them for a while, I had admission, I think barely a year, I had admission to GIJ, and then I went to GIJ. So that was an interim kind of, survival instincts at work.
What would you have wanted to do?
I wanted to do land economy.
What?
Land economy.
Okay.
Yeah, because at the time when I was growing up, that was what all the guys and ladies in Tema, in my area, were doing. They go to tech and they go and do land economy. And there was a term then, tech or suicide. So for my sixth form, my tertiary education, I only picked the form for tech. I didn't pick any form for anywhere else, and I only chose land economy. And when I didn't get it, everything came, crumbling down, So it was hell for me then. But I guess God knew what He was doing.
Humble beginnings. Parents divorce when you're at an early age, so dad played a major part in your life, if not all the parental role. He played a huge percentage.
Right.
Has it made you too hard?
I think it's made me confident, assertive, and bold, but not hard. He was disciplined, but he was not hard. My dad could cry openly. You won't call that, hardness.
No.
He was a Gold Coast trained police officer, a Presbyterian trained, and he was a member of the first ever 5-member police fraud squad setup.
Police fraud squad?
Yep.
I'm sure Andy Awuni would have loved to have a word with your dad. Last of 8 children.
Yes.
Was there a struggle for survival?
Yes, it was. It was. And I came a bit late in my parents' life. You know, I was a pension baby, or I remember they used to tease me that I'm accidental baby. You know, the age difference between the one who comes before me and I is quite huge. So by then you say that their energies were spent, especially my dad. You know, I grew up just knowing my dad. And he was on pension from the police force when I was born. So things were quite tough. You know, the others had it a bit easier than I did.
Dad. You're a woman. So you get to a certain age where you begin to go through your cycle, you know, so who sits you down and say, it's okay, it's normal, you know, get a sanitary pad? Who does that?
Dad.
Wow.
I had 3 big sisters. They'll tell me, but it won't sink until Dad comes in.
I see. That played. Gifty, what did you miss out with you not growing up with a mom?
I think a lot. I missed out on a lot of things. I think there are a lot of things she could have taught me, but I can't put my finger on it, but I miss it. You know, I miss that bond that I see girls and their mom, you know, the way they play, the way they bond, you know. I feel, I go to homes and I see parents seated together with their children eating. I love it, you know, I enjoy it. But I can't put my hand on anything specific. It's more of emotional than physical. Because everything I need to know, my dad taught me. My sisters taught me, you know, how to cook, how to keep yourself clean, you know, how to, manage relationship, even how to use the cutlery, all those things my dad taught me. But there's something that I feel I wished I grew up with a mother around.
Well, that was growing up. So now that you've completely grown up,
yeah,
with all the characteristics that you have and everything, what do you think that maybe if I had a mom, I would have been good at this?
Maybe I would have been good at preparing kukunte. Because I love kukunte, but I don't know how to prepare it.
Okay. So that's definitely the mom thing.
Yeah, that's the... But I still think that I can't put my finger on it. I don't know how to explain it, but I know I missed something. I don't know what it is. But I keep saying that it's more of emotional than the physical.
Girl power advocate, woman advocate. You know, you've championed the cause of women.
Right.
Rightfully or wrongly, you've championed the cause of women. You see, once upon a time, you know, and everybody, I keep telling you that, Adam's first wife wasn't Eve. There was a lady called Lilith. Now, Lilith was not going to be subservient in the garden. You all know she wanted to be out there with the boy, so the marriage broke up. And the story also says that she wasn't even created from Adam's rib. She was, also formed just like Adam.
Right.
But then the marriage broke down. Are you breaking marriages by this advocacy? The stories that
right.
She's not married, so she doesn't care. She's just saying, if your husband tells you off, pack your stuff and leave, cause she's not there. That's what the story is.
With what's her name,
Lilith.
Lilith, don't give up.
She's the first standpoint.
We are fighting the struggle for you. I now understand why we are suffering as women. Eve settled for less. That's why we are suffering. But really, I've heard it, I know people say it, but, they only say it because they refuse to accept the fact. Let me mention a few names to you, and you tell me what comes to your mind. Angela Dramna-Boadjeng.
Okay.
Auntie Muni. Nano Yelesa. What comes to your mind?
Strong women.
They are married. Yeah, but they have identities of their own. They are making impact. We all were born to fulfill a purpose. A woman should not be the cause of you not living up to your full potential. Neither should a man stop you as a woman. And I still say it, as a woman, the moment a man lifts his hand, walk out, because it won't stop. You have a bigger purpose. Not that you stay single forever. There's a better man out there for you. Not problem-free man, but a man who will not hit you, the man who will not make you feel as if you're nothing, a man who will not kill your confidence as a woman.
Even though I'm not championing the cause of any man lifting even the little finger on any woman, then I'm saying not all women are as fortunate as you. Where then do they go? So are you now sending families onto the streets?
That is why we are actually advocating holistic empowerment. Why a woman, you need to be educated. Why you need to be empowered. Why you need to do something, no matter where you're coming from. Not all of us can go to school. You need to do something. Selling ice water, selling wache like antimony, selling maize at the market, doing something. Carpentry, thank you very much. You need to be able to stand on your own as a human being.
I'm staying with the subject of women, but this time I'm moving to Muslim women.
Right.
You see, some cultures are comfortable the way we are, and sometimes from our side you think, oh no, this is not good for you, be like me. But maybe Muslims want their women to be quieter, and maybe Muslim women might even want to be quieter and say, no, you go and play the role, I'm quieter. But there's you saying that, get out there.
You know, I used to think that is true, until I heard Muslim clerics, very intelligent imams, talking about how much power the Quran gives to women. The Quran talks about a woman being, like when you respect a woman, it's like half of your task to get to heaven is done. Heaven lies at the feet of womanhood. The Quran talks about how the men should be able to love the women equally for. I don't have a problem if you want to be a second wife, third wife, fifth wife, whatever. I have absolutely no qualms about that. Once you're happy, once you're fulfilled, once you're satisfied, whatever you know in there you take is good for you. I have no qualms about that. But I just don't want people to think that, any woman to think that, well, I have nowhere to go. This is all I have. So let me settle for this. I don't think that is right.
Are you a good homemaker?
I think I will be.
Your schedule is too tight. How are you going to be a good homemaker?
Well, I make time. I still make time for myself. I still make time to have fun with my family and friends. I still make time to do all the crazy things with my friends. I love sleeping because I hardly get time to sleep. So my favorite pastime is sleeping. I still go 2 days in a week without makeup to the mall, to whatever. I drive to wherever to go and have time for myself. I can go to Busia Beach, spend 2 days just to have fun and relax.
You see, even though statistics say that...
and I still make time to cook.
Statistics say that there are, I think, 51% of women, 49% of men, but there's still a great deal of men out there. You are beautiful. You've done a lot. So what is your justification for being single? Because you champion relationship story. Is your story not successful in your own life?
You see, I remember one day going to my dad to cry because my sister insulted me that I look like a hippopotamus. And then my dad said to me that,
Hold on. We heard her here first. She was a carpenter?
Yeah.
And...
Yeah.
Yes.
And my dad looked at me and said, you know what? The moment you were born, I said to your mother that this is a beautiful daughter. So as for beauty, don't worry about that. So I don't go looking for anybody to tell me you are beautiful. I want somebody who will respect me for this. Somebody who will know that I have a bigger purpose to fulfill in life. Not somebody who will come in and say that, well, it's enough. My friends are saying you are talking too much. My friends are saying this, you are becoming a messiah. My friends are saying that you are the person wearing the trousers at home. Unfortunately or unfortunately for me, I have a following. That's a fact. There are people who look up to me. Every step I take, they follow. Whatever decision I take, I don't take for myself anymore. I take for the greater number of younger people who are looking up to me, and even older people. When I fail, I drag all of them down with me. So yes, I will settle down, but with the right person.
And we are waiting. Rumors. Gifty, I Google your name and there's a whole page of rumors. Supposed to have twins with ex-President Kufuor. You're supposed to, the list goes on. First of all, are they true?
I wish, but they are not.
Okay.
I wish I had twins, but no, I don't.
How do you manage? With all your following, they also go on the net and think, Mama Gifty, did she really do that?
Yeah.
Did she really do so? How do you manage?
Well, when you have something to give, people come to you. When people know that you have something to give, they will come to you, no matter what they think about you or what people say about you. And when they come, they realize that what they've read or what they have thought all these years are not true. So I tend to do what I love to do. I'm fortunate to pursue my passion in this life. I recently came from Nigeria, where I attended a conference, and one of the speakers quoted Oprah Winfrey, who said that the greatest adventure that you can undertake on this earth is to live the life of your dreams. And I'm fortunate to be one of those living the life of my dreams, that's impacting on lives, touching lives.
Of all the fields that you could have chosen to advocate, why this area? It's not popular.
Nana, I was raised by a man to believe that there is nothing under the earth that I cannot achieve. He raised me to believe in myself. Everything I can do. I grew up, playing with the boys. If my brothers go, I go. My dad will insist they take me anyway. I went to primary school anyway. I went to Saito Tema. Lived a shielded life with my father around. Not the best. I didn't have the best, but I had my father's love. And then I went to secondary school. I went to Infantman Girls. 7 years. They call us Manside. We do anything. We can stage coups. We can play football. We can do anything. So there's no limit to what we could do. I have always been somebody who does so many things at the same time. I can tell you the number of things I was involved with from primary school. I was playing netball. I wasn't good at it, but you can't play without me. I must be in there doing something. Infantman Girls, I was all over the place. So I come to the workplace and it's strange. A woman can't do this. A woman can't do that. I'm like, how? I mean, that wasn't how I was taught. That isn't the life I have lived. So if I can do it, why can't anybody do it? Something must be done. Something has to change. When I started, it was more of, I started with a breakfast show, newspaper review, and then these talks. This girl, the way she's loud, I'm sure she's sleeping with this minister or some big man, something. People, then Nana Yoforiata, Dr. Esther Amuako, Atta, and Audrey Gajepo were coming on, and they were being tagged and called so many names. I'm like, this is strange. This can't happen. So then let me create a platform where we get all women talking about these politics and economics and share their views on some of these issues for people to know that women, we also have brains. We can do it. But when I started, I realized that there are more serious underlying factors that need to be addressed before we can get women rising up to where we want them to be, to become the chief executives, to become the ministers, to be MPs. They need to be able to deal with their own secret problems.
I'm going to take a break, but before I take a break, are you talking to somebody? Are you seeing somebody? Who is? I'm sure the world wants to know.
Well, yes, I'm seeing somebody. I'm seeing someone who's, for the first time, made me feel like it's okay to get married, that marriage can be fun. So we see what happens.
Watch this space. I'm going to take a break. When I come back, you're going to talk some more. Hello and welcome back to PM Express. I am talking to Gifty Auntie, who happens to be the CEO of GDA Creations and the production company for The Standpoint. She's also the host of The Standpoint. Now I want to find out why The Standpoint, where it started from, where the dreams came from, because I know there are many women out there, or many young ladies out there who are thinking, you know what, I also want to grow up, impact on people, employ people, and be like her. So let's hear her story of how it all started. The Standpoint. First, I want to know what The Standpoint is.
The Standpoint is like the view, the perspective. And we added the article there because we only stand for one thing. That is to empower women, holistically. Okay. This is not a platform for debate, whether it's good or bad. We have an agenda.
Lilith, yeah? Lilith.
And the agenda is that women, we need to come to our own. We need to live up to our full potential. Where we are is not good enough. We can do better. I told you I came from Nigeria not too long ago. You should see the Nigerian women. When they stand in public and they talk, the level of confidence, the language, the educational background, and yes, they are married.
We'll get to Nigeria, and then we'll talk about this award, which is the last award you've got. We'll do that. But the Standpoint, your humble beginnings. We heard the story of the cardboard set. Let's borrow somebody's room, and now we are sat in the Standpoint studio, and by all accounts, it's befitting to any standard anywhere in the world. And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Proving that indeed, if you act like Lilith, you can get somewhere. But were you lucky? Maybe because of your work, you met, had connections to get you here, or did you have to go through the mill and struggle to get here?
I went through the mill to struggle to get in here. Yes, I'd worked in the media for 11 years before I started a Standpoint, but it doesn't come easy. It starts right from the beginning. When I started my profession, my father taught me that humility is always the key. Service is important. Everything you do, think about the future. Not for your goods, but for your good. That was his favorite saying. Not for your goods, but for your good. So right from the beginning, I learned. I took in criticisms. I showed respect to people. So when it came to a time that I needed them, though they didn't know what it was about, what I wanted to do, they believed in me. Some of them, it's time for us to show some kindness towards it, so let's do it. Some actually believed in me that I could do something with this. So they came in there.
I'm going to set up a platform and I'm going to talk about women issues.
Yes.
They bought into it?
Yes. My first program, you know who came on? The then Minister for Women and Children Affairs, Haji Alima Mahama. First ever program, recording. It wasn't even live.
And she agreed to come on?
She came and she stayed, and we did 2 recordings that day, part 1 and 2. With Les Hefronasari and then Hamida Nuhu, who was a young lawyer. Les, because she had mentored me, so she knew what I was capable of doing. But Hajia, because she said she thought that I was daring, very daring, because nobody had ventured into that area. So he said, well, fine, why not?
Who's your role model?
I have so many role models. My ultimate role model, of course, is Miss Oprah, the one and only Miss Oprah. But here in Ghana, I have many women I look up to. I call them my Naomis. I have, Auntie Joyce, Dr. Joyce Ayi, there's Gifty Afeni Dazi, there's Angela Dramina Boaje, there's Nanoye Letha, there's Benny Sam, who was my school mother. Benny Sam is with Waldorf. The list goes on. I have so many women. I have women at GBC who Titi Anepe and Co. Betty Apawopon. So many women have touched my way in different ways. Some of them were very hard, were very critical, but I took it in my stride. And anytime I went home to complain to my dad that this person has been wicked to me, he never said, don't worry, they are jealous. He always told me, prove to them that you can do it. Prove to them that you can do better.
Well, so if you're a young lady out there striving to achieve, prove to them that you can do better and you can achieve. Standpoint is 5 years.
Yep.
Did you think it would last 5 years?
I didn't even know where it was going to think about the fact that it would last. No, I didn't. And sometimes I try to look back and I can't because I don't know how we got here. I simply don't know how we got here. And when I go around and I hear people talk, it's as if we've been here 10, 15 years.
It's become an institution.
Yeah.
By the grace of God. Institution. There have been some revealing programs, where I watched a program where this lady was married to like an ambassador, who was completely abusing this woman. Now, it's unheard of for an ambassador's wife to even have the courage to come on air and even admit it. So I think, how would you coax a woman to come and even...
Sometimes they come to me and tell me that I want to share my experience. I told you the goodwill I had right from the beginning. One of the programs I did, I had then acting head of Shraj, Anna Bossman, Gifty Afeni Dazi, Mrs. Gifty Afeni Dazi, and then Auntie Joyce Ayi. And they came on the program and they shared. I remember some of the things that Auntie Joyce said on the program. People were watching like, wow. We didn't think that this woman would openly come out and talk about this. Some of the experience she's gone through in terms of marriage and all that. And so you sit back and like, man,
she can do it.
She is going through it. She's been able, so how much more me? The ambassador's wife actually saw one of an earlier program we did where Dr. Twakli, a very renowned physician, a lady, somebody I look up to. She's beautiful at her age. She's good at what she does. She came and sat on this program and said that I was abused for 7 years. And this woman looked at us like, then what have I got to be shy of? This is a woman, by all standard you call respectable and high-class society woman, can openly talk about it. Let me also share. The way her story has helped me, let me go and share my story. Maybe it will help, somebody else deal with it. So with the 5 years onwards, our theme now is providing hope, help, and healing.
Hope, help,
and healing. That's what we want to do. Provide hope to people. Know that you are not going through this alone. You don't need to kill yourself.
Can you sustain it?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's very sustainable. As for issues that women we go through or we have, we'll talk about it. Some of them will be there till eternity because they're young people coming every time. And if your mother doesn't know any better, she can help you.
So for 5 years, what do you have for us?
For 5 years, we have 5 programs lined up. On the 22nd of June, we had a Muslim Women's Conference. The theme was maximizing the potential of the Muslim woman.
Turn them to Lilith?
No, we are not turning them. And I wasn't the one who spoke to them. It's their own Muslim clerics who empowered them as women, who took them through what the Quran, gives to the power that the Quran gives to them, not for them to be rebellious, but to believe in themselves, not to accept, the least.
And that's the first event?
That was the first event. It took place here at our bigger studio, upstairs, that's the GDA studios. And then the second one is coming on the 6th of July. That's a Women Call to Worship Conference. We've been having it for the past 3 years. We have it at the Trinity Baptist Church, which is opposite UPS, now IPS. Reverend Istudanaba is the main speaker. The theme is, Woman, what do you have?
Okay.
Woman, what do you have? And that's the theme for the anniversary program. And this theme came because one of the days I was just going through my emotions. I'm human. Sometimes I feel down and I wish I had this, I wish I had that. And it just came to me that, yes, you don't have it, but what do you have? What are you doing with it? Are you doing enough with it? And I think that's what the major problem that women we have. We want too much.
I wish I had that, just the one, which is the top of the list.
To be honest,
yes.
I wish I had a child.
Okay, now let's go to third event.
So that one is taking place at 8 a.m. at the Trinity Baptist Church. The third event will be the Femithon, the walk for the abused Ghanaian child. And that will be specifically the abused Ghanaian girl. That will be held at the LWAC Sports Stadium at, everybody knows where LWAC is. The time is 6 a.m. We are going to walk and make a statement that abuse of young people must stop.
Okay.
Simple, as simple as that. It must stop. So that's what is going to be the third. The fourth one will take a trip to an orphanage to go and make donation. And then the big one, which is my next big project.
I'm near enough an orphan. I don't have a dad.
Well, I am an orphan. I don't have a mom and I don't have a dad.
Take a trip to my house. Give me some of the donations.
I'm an orphan, so I can identify with them, and it can be really difficult not to have a mom or your dad around, And the final one, which will take place on the 10th of August here at GDA Studios, is the Girl in Need Foundation. Girl in Need, because there's so many young people. In your intro, you talked about, me moving sometimes to help a young person who is being abused or having to do ridiculous of things just to get some money to see herself through school. So we need to set up a fund to help such people. There's so many funds around, needy and brilliant children and all that. But some of these girls are very brilliant, but because of what they are going through, they can't even go to school. And I have been out there helping some of these. Some of them I don't even know their name, and I always save their name. Girl in Need 1, Girl in Need 2, Girl in Need 3. So let us set up a fund, and all we are asking for is 1 Ghana cedi from Ghanaians. 1 Ghana cedis. Because young people are suffering. Now I did a program 3 years ago on intimacy in marriage. We had fun, very crazy women talking about, sex and how you need to romance with your husband and your wife and things like that. And some of the challenges why women can't open up, can do certain things with their husbands and all that. And in the night, I had a call with an unknown number with a man. He spoke very well. Good English, Queen's English. I was like, Gifty, I never really liked your program. I never watched it. I thought it was just some crazy thing, but thank you very much. And I was like, say, why? He said, for the first time, I even have goosebumps now. He said, for the first time in 20 years, my wife told me why she never opened herself up to intimacy. She came to me and told me that she was raped when she was young, and she's never been able to deal with it. So they were suffering in their intimate aspect of their relationship because this woman was going through this and she didn't know. But on the program, we talked about how it's important for you to let your partner know and that he will love you no matter what. If he really loves you, he will help you.
I'm going to move to Tema Excellence Award.
Right.
UN Ambassador for MDG 4 and 5. A Friendship Foundation International Leadership Award, that's 2012. Honorary Doctorate of Letters Award by the Global Center for Transformational Leadership. And then Inspirational Woman of the Year by African Woman of Worth Awards and Queen's Magazine. Excellence Award by Global Women Inventors and Innovators. RTP Award, Female Presenter of the Year, RTP Award, Morning Show Host of the Year, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Which one would you want to be put in your coffin when you're gone? So in case you meet God, you can say, there you go, I played my part.
I'm waiting for the one that will say, and she touched lives. And she changed lives.
I think at my son we can organize that. I think at my son can organize that.
That one, I'm sure God will look at it and say, okay.
Awards Gifty and She Touched Lives Award. Since that one hasn't come yet,
right?
Which one, it's very difficult to say.
Every
I hold this one high esteem, but there's always one that stands out for one reason or the other.
No, to be honest with you, there's nothing like being awarded by your own. Yeah, so the Tema Excellence Award means a lot to me. And to be singled out, the whole of Ghana, and identified as Inspirational Woman of the Year, that is something. Yeah. And to be awarded by great women from across Africa.
That's what I want to talk about, that one. African Women in Leadership Organization.
Right.
Excellence Award for giving women a platform and a voice.
Yeah.
And that's what's on the table here.
Yeah.
And that was just pretty much...
Yeah, on the 14th of June.
A recent one.
Yeah.
That must... And you went to Nigeria to pick this up.
Yeah.
I think it's a very humbling...
It is. And you should see the caliber of women who were awarded. Great women from Liberia, from Nigeria, from Gambia, from South Africa, and you sit then like, do I really deserve this? Because really, it's not me. As I said, well, maybe rightly so, I created a platform, but those who have really touched lives are the women and men and young people.
Do you love what you do?
I love it with everything in me. I tell people that, Nana,
if I didn't pay you, would you
Nana, I love cars and I love my car. But if it becomes critical that I can't have money to get this program going, I will sell my car without blinking just to get this program going. I will sell my house. I will sell my jewelry just to get money to get this program going. The joy and the excitement of people who have been touched. When they see you, it's enough. That's what keeps me going. That's what is able to make me go to bed and close my eyes and know that for the sake of these people, God will wake me up in the morning. I love it with everything. It is challenging. It is difficult. It is painful. You have people who will say the most painful of things to you just because you are touching lives. Nobody wants the status quo changed. Men will always like to handle it. Like, we are in charge. We're meant to be down there. Women who are in very deplorable situations and don't know where to go will hate it when you make them feel like they are not doing the right thing. They must do something. So, it's painful. But the thing is, I have great people out there who appreciate what we are doing, who pray, for me and the program all the time. And it keeps going on. And every day, even if it's a single woman who comes here to say that, thank you, or comes here to say that, I was going to kill myself, but I listened to the story of that woman and I tell myself, I can also make it.
So what's next for the Standpoint?
The Standpoint is going to continue advocating. This time round, by the grace of God, we'll take it around the country. Yes, we are coming. People are killing me all over, especially my people in the northern part of the country. They want us to come and do programs there. So we'll be going around. We'll do nationwide tours. We'll also be organizing mentorship programs, what I call the Naomi series. This time not about talk, but young people to be taken through the process, the skills training. If young people want to be like Gifty Auntie, they need to know what it takes, the process. Not just me coming and talk about it. You need to be bold, you need to be confident, you need to be passionate. No, they need to understand that sometimes I break down and I cry. They need to know that sometimes I have to beg to get money to get this program going. They need to know that sometimes I need to wake up 24 hours, not sleeping, sometimes 48 hours, whatever, just to think, make sure that I get things done properly. They need to know that I go without food sometimes to get this program going. They need to know what it takes, the process, the humility, the sometimes closing your eyes, the rumors, how you can be hurt by your own friends and family because of what you do. They need to understand. You need to take them through that. If they want to be a banker, you need to take them through that. What do you need to do? The discipline you need not to be able to touch the money. When that temptation comes, what do you need to do? So we are going to take people through that process.
Through an institution, a charity, how are you going to do that?
God has always seen us through, and I say that He will see us through. You know, for this Faith Anniversary program, we don't have a corporate sponsor. Nobody's coming. I put the notice on my Facebook wall. You know, anyway, if you see Gifty Auntie on Facebook, it's not me. I use Nana Dansoa on Facebook. So please let me use your platform to clarify that. My name on Facebook is Nana Dansoa. I put it there. And I asked my friends on Facebook that, listen, you need to help me. You need to contribute. Like, you know, trying to be a mini Obama, you know. So, and we're getting people calling in to say that, oh, I'll give you a crate of mineral. I'll do this. I'll do that. I met a woman at Palace, the Furniture City, and apparently she's this executive. She owns a catering company. You know, she trains people to do pastries and cakes and all that. And my usual self, I didn't know her for it, but I behaved as if I was all lovey-dovey, praising her dress and all that. And then she's like, what do you want me to do for you? I said, what do you do? What can you do? I didn't want to sound as if I don't know her. So what can you do? I said, well, I can decorate your venue for you and maybe chip in a pastry or two.
Well,
that is what.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's very welcome. You know, so such little things keeps that going. But of course we need a sponsorship. We need the adverts to keep it going. But I believe that God will see us through.
I'm sure too. Well, that's the standpoint, sir. Now, in your personal life, what should your fans and your numerous kids expect?
Well, one step at a time. You know, things will come when they come. When you are concentrating, doing things for people, touching lives of people, I mean, God always has a way of surprising you. My father, forgive me, I love my dad. You know,
I love my mom. There's nothing wrong.
You know, my father, one of the things he taught me too is that when you celebrate people, you'll be celebrated. Reverend Isudanabe's wife quite recently talked about at a seminar, a conference, talked about the Shunammite woman. This woman was powerful. She was influential. She had money. She took care of other people's children. She was the greatest host. You pass through her house, you'll never be the same. You have food to eat. You have somewhere to lay your head. She looked perfect, busy serving others. But she had a problem. The problem was that she had no child. Her husband was growing old. And then one day a prophet came in there. And the prophet asked her, what can I do for you? You know what she said? I have no problem. I'm just okay. I love doing what I'm doing. But there was a servant in that house, a Kokonsa servant, who went to the prophet and told him that, you know, with all that she's doing, her husband is growing old and she has no child. I think if you can help her, if you can pray for her, you can call on your God to give her a child, I think it will be good. When the prophet called the Shunammite woman and told her, she laughed and said, listen, I don't want any false prophecy. I'm happy with the way God has made me. I will continue doing what I'm doing. But lo and behold, exactly a year after, the woman took seed and had a child. She was of age. She was old. The Bible tells us that, you know, she had reached a certain age that she had given up on ever having a child. But that day came because she opened her house to do good. She opened her heart to use everything God has given her to serve mankind. So that has been my inspiration. And that is what I tell people. Don't look at your problem. It's there. You cry. I'm sure that Shunammite woman went to bed sometimes and cried. So just like you and I, we will cry. sometimes, but the next morning we'll wake up and do and use what God has given us for the betterment of mankind.
Well, I was talking to Nana as well. I was talking to Gifty Auntie. And it has been insightful, it has been exciting, informative, and I think we have learned a bit more than we knew before the interview started. Gifty, thanks a lot for letting us into your studio. I look forward to talking to you on some other subject. My name is Nana Sakwao, and you just watched Personality Profile.